What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a 300. Today's going to be a pretty easy one. Today I'm just going to be replacing the brake lines and the clutch master and clutch slave cylinder, and also the clutch line. The lines I'm using are stainless steel lines, and they're by Goodridge. Here's the lines right here. These are all your brake lines. And then here's the one clutch line. This one's for your slave cylinder. Then here's the new master for my clutch, and here's the slave for my clutch. So I'm replacing these. I'm replacing all my lines just because my brakes are really smushy. They still stop the car, but not as confident as I want them to. So sometimes, like when I am driving around and I'm braking, I kind of have to almost double brake, so it actually builds up pressure. It's not my master and it's not my master brake cylinder. Because I already replaced that, and I've already went through and bled it and all that stuff. So the only thing left is the lines, and the lines are 35 years old. So what happens is when you press on your brake, all your fluid goes through it, and then your lines expand, and that's what causes that smushiness. So when I replace all these lines, which are there's one right here and there's one right over here, on both sides and in the front. Once I replace these with the stainless steel lines, my brakes should feel 10 times better, and because it's going to have really good pressure, it will stop better as well. So, and then also for my clutch, I'm replacing it because it is getting kind of mushy, so I don't want to be driving around and have the clutch go out on me, which would suck. So I'm going to replace it now before it happens. Anyways, I'm going to kind of power through this. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you just bleed all your brake lines out, then you just literally just take off the line, replace it with the next one, or with the stainless steel line that matches the length of it, and do the same for each one, and then re-bleed your brakes, and then you're good to go. So it's pretty simple. I'm not going to go too in depth into it or anything like that. I'm probably just going to knock it out, and then I'll do time lapse through a lot of it, and then I'll let you know what the difference is and stuff like that. I'm sure I'm going to feel a huge difference. I'm going to do all the brake lines first, and then I'm going to do the clutch stuff next. Okay, so I got the first line off. This right here is a 17. This right here is a 10. If you have line wrenches, try to use them so you don't strip them out. And then, yeah, so basically now I can just unscrew this off the caliper. Just like that. There's a washer in there too, copper washer. And then your new line, so you can kind of see the difference between the old and the new. So definitely a skinnier line, but yeah, it's not gonna balloon out anymore when you actually press on your brake. So basically you just take this one off. It took me literally 2 minutes, if that. And then the next one, make sure you got your copper washer, put it on your line like that. Snug it up with the wrench. You put this thing right in here, just like that, and then you attach that line. Then you're done with the part that goes to your caliper. Then you just got to get the one that's back here, and it's literally the same process. Those line bolts are at 10s as well. You take the old one off, put the new one on, and tighten everything back up, and then you're done. This is literally a super simple upgrade you can do. It's not that expensive either. It's pretty cheap. I got this at the Z store, and I'm almost positive it's going to make a huge difference on my brakes. Obviously, I'm going to let you know when I test drive it, but it's cheap, easy, anybody can do it, and with a couple of tools, and big upgrade. And just for safety wise, you want that confidence in your brakes so you can actually stop. So anyways, I'm going to knock this out, and I'm going to show you when I'm all done, and then I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to do the fronts. Okay, so I got every single corner with the brand new lines. Goes the fronts. Fronts are easier than the backs are, I think. Yeah, it's just same thing, 10 mil right here. And then the nut was a 12, I believe, or 14, I can't remember. And then you put the new line on, put everything back, then you're good to go. This is what the old line looked like. I also got, you know, a new bolt and everything, new washers. And then here goes the driver's side. Everything goes back into the factory location. So now onto the clutch, master cylinder, and the clutch line. So you gotta go on the passenger side of your car, and right there, that's your clutch slave cylinder. So it's just 2 bolts. That right there is where you drain it out of, and then that line right there is your slave cylinder clutch line. So that's the one I'm going to be replacing, and also obviously the slave cylinder itself. So I'm going to take this off, replace these 2 first, and then I'll go and do the master after that. Okay, just so before you start off taking your line off as well, that bolt right there is a 14, so you gotta take that off. That's your ground, looks like, to my battery, and then the line is 2 17s. So just do your 17 bolts, and then I'm assuming those are 14s as well, which I think they are. Yeah, so all 3 of those are 14 mil. So take this off first, and then take your line off, sorry, drain it first, take your line off, and then undo the bolts, and then take your master or your slave cylinder off. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, I got everything loosened up. I'm gonna take these 2 bolts out. I'm actually not even gonna take that one out because I loosened it right here, and once I have this thing off, I can just take it off literally right there. So everything's really nasty in here. I think this stuff was leaking for a while. This is probably the original slave cylinder. So hold on 1 second. Get it down real quick. All right. So now I can kind of just twist this thing until it comes all the way out. Let me get this off, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what the old one looks like, and compared to the brand new one, it's gonna be so much better. This thing was really nasty and greasy. It had a bunch of crud on it. So I think this one was leaking as well. So this one obviously will not leak, which would be good. So now I'm just gonna clean up the area inside there, and then put the new one in, and then we'll be done where the transmission side is with the slave cylinder, and then we just gotta go over and switch out the clutch master cylinder. Okay, I got the new slave cylinder in there. The clutch line, it looks a little weird. We'll see if it works or not. The actual factory one too that was on here did have a space in between right where I'm pointing at right now. So because I was gonna put the factory one back on because this one wasn't really mating up all the way to the actual nut part of it, which was kind of weird. So when I put the factory one back on, it was doing the exact same thing as this stainless steel clutch line is. So I don't know if it's supposed to do that or whatnot, but we're gonna see if this leaks or not. If it does, then I'm gonna have to figure out some another way to run this line or run the factory line. So, but for right now, we're gonna see if this is actually gonna work. Now what we gotta do is just remove this overflow right here, or sorry, not overflow, your window washer reservoir. Take that out. Your your clutch master cylinder is right underneath there. You're just gonna take out the 2 bolts and then the line that's connected to it, and then you're gonna go inside your car and take out the pin from your clutch pedal, and then it should be able to come out. But I'm gonna do that right now and switch them out. Okay, so I got the old one out. Here's the new one. So now what I'm gonna do is basically just match up the length of the actual rod that goes to your pedal. So my pedal's in the same placement. And then put this one back in, put the 2 bolts in, put the line back in, and then all I need to do is bleed the lines. It's really simple, really easy. Those are the 2 nuts right there. And then, I don't know if you can see it down there, but that's the hole it goes in. Super simple. No reason not to do this. This is probably, could be the factory one too, so it could be, you know, 30 years old. Could have been replaced, who knows. But I'm gonna replace it now so it doesn't go out on me when I'm driving around. But let me put this back in there, then I'm gonna bleed everything, and then I'll let you know how it feels. All right, so it's been about a week since I installed all of the stainless steel brake lines and the new clutch master cylinder, slave cylinder, and I'm driving it from a leak. Nothing's leaking at all. That line that went from the slave cylinder that I thought might leak, it didn't leak at all. I guess it's apparently supposed to look like that and do that, so that's all good to go. And yeah, she's running pretty good. So there's the master. The actual my clutch feel on my pedal is so much better now. I do need to replace the clutch in here because I haven't done that yet, and I don't know when it's actually been replaced last, so that is on my list of things to do. But just switching out that master and slave cylinder actually made it feel a lot better. So I'm gonna go on a drive real quick, and then I'll explain how the actual braking feels. All right, so the brake feel is 10 times better than what it was. So when I used to have to stop and I would slow down, like how I'm doing right now, I would used to have to like pump my brakes twice just to get full pressure on it, because the first time it would basically go all the way to the ground, and then the second time it would actually have some pressure to stop or to actually stop me, and it wouldn't even be that hard of a stop. But now I can just instantly push the brake, and the actual brake pedal actually gets hard right at the top of it. So it was definitely the lines ballooning out. Like I said, those lines were probably as old as the car was. Actually, I know those lines are as old as the car was. You know, they were just brittle. You saw a bunch of cracks in them and stuff like that. And yeah, so every time I pushed on the brake pedal before, it was just ballooning out, not giving me any pressure. Now with the stainless lines, I have no ballooning problems, and the car actually just brakes very well. As far as the clutch as well, the clutch feels so much better too. There was some times where like I'd push the clutch and my actual transmission just wouldn't want to go into the gear, and now it goes into the gear every single time. And I think it's because the slave cylinder wasn't actually pushing on the fork enough to actually engage it to where I could put the transmission into any gear, no matter what it was. So that was definitely going out too. But like I said, this was definitely needed for this car, and for the stainless steel brake lines was definitely a good purchase. I highly recommend it. It's nice and cheap, and it's super easy to install. You can do it at your house with, you know, normal tools, and you'll be done within, you know, an hour, and you will instantly feel way better braking force, and also your clutch will feel a lot better too. And like I said, I still have the regular or the stock clutch in here. I've never replaced the clutch, so if it made it feel that much better already, I mean, with the clutch that may have been here for 35 years, definitely worth it. So I highly recommend those 2 parts. I got them both at the Z store. So you guys want to go down there and you can pick up the brake master cylinder, or sorry, not the brake, the clutch master cylinder and the slave cylinder and the lines there. And I think I paid like 200 bucks for it, so it wasn't even that bad. But I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, so help me out with that. And the next video, I think, is going to be me putting in the headers. So just look out for that video. It's probably going to be with me putting in the headers and with me dynoing it, or those might be 2 separate videos. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. I'll probably try to do that within a week or so. We'll see how my schedule is, but just look out for that. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.